Well, residents tell me the night of the fire was extremely difficult. Some people calling around to hotels to find an open room or staying with family members. Others sleeping in their cars overnight. The Red Cross is helping 81 families who were displaced from this apartment complex. They'll have to find a long-term place to stay. The building could take 6 months to a year to repair.
Where do we go now? Because it happens so fast. You know, it all happens in a matter of hours. All of a sudden, now you're homeless.
Residents are packing up their lives just days after a 4-alarm fire tore through the roof of the Chestnut Hill North apartment complex in Hamden. Recent grad Bonza Tufa recalls that night as he returns to the building.
I stayed up the whole night looking at my smoldering building, trying to figure out what to do next. It was me and a couple neighbors. And
when fire crews arrived on scene, they found solar panels, HVAC equipment, and the roof deck was on fire. They were able to stop the fire from spreading into the units.
It's a miracle that nobody got hurt. I don't know how nobody got hurt because of the situation.
The property manager tells me all the apartments have smoke damage. 20% have extensive water damage. Even part of the lobby ceiling came down.
Extremely devastated what they're going through. We're trying to work with them. I mean, all their security deposit checks are ready. As soon as they get their belongings, we release everybody from lease.
Some residents came back to the complex Tuesday afternoon to get their belongings, packing up their lives into a moving truck in 90-degree heat. But where to next is a tough question.
You know, apartment hunting is not easy right now in the summertime, and hotels weren't easy to come by. You had to wait till the next day, so you had to figure out what you were going to do overnight until the next day. Especially for me, the way things have been going is kind of the last thing I need.
But residents we spoke with were thankful they were able to get some help.
We are offering immediate assistance to help support needs such as a place to stay, something to eat, toiletries, and connecting to longer-term recovery services to help address those long-term needs for those who have been affected.
People like Alejandro Nunez's mother-in-law. He helped her pack up Tuesday afternoon.
Thank God she don't got to stay in, in the street or whatever. You know, she's in the hotel. She's secure for now.
Thankfully, no one was injured in this fire. The property manager here says they're working with the town building inspector to figure out when it's safe to return. No word just yet on what caused the fire, but we'll keep you updated both on air and online as we get that information. You can check out our website, fox61.com. We're live in Hamden. Alicia Machado, Fox 61 News.